Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ETF2L Season 31, Week 7, covered by TFTV. I'm going to have to be really quick with the intro because we're going live very soon. I'm not alone. I've got Gemm on production. I've got Eemes as my co-caster, and we're going to be bringing you SVIFT versus SVIFT. What a game this is going to be, Eemes, especially for yourself.
Indeed, this game has a lot of playoff implications, so I'll just give you the run through quickly. SVIFT have made playoffs either way, but they could, if they lose by 6 points today, they could go into playoffs in 4th, with SVIFT in 3rd. And if SVIFT gets 6 points or 5 points, well, if SVIFT get 5, no, hold on. Yeah, if SVIFT get 5, then they will also take 3rd and beat SVIFT and beat or Electro, which is my team. And if they get anything less than 5, then they will not make playoffs, and it will be SVIFT in 3rd and or Electro in 4th. So big implications. There's lots of different, ways it could work out. But yeah, if SVIFT get a map, then it's SVIFT a 3rd or a 4th. That's basically how it works. As we are going live.
We are going live, and just to clear some confusion, I am GrumpyKoi, but I'm just referring to my real name now, just because I can. But we're coming into this first mid, and Ali is doing a very good rollout, and everyone else is RR in an XD. So we have time to talk. We have time to talk. Woo!
We can take a breather.
Thank you, production, for making me panic. But we'll get a notification when it's going through, so we can talk about this a little bit, and especially the teams. So I'm gonna just eat
not
my
for too
hat.
long.
But yeah. So, Konu and Sorex on Scouts.
You're going to have to eat it again.
We've got Amarok and Callback on Soldiers, Ale on Demo, and then we've got Seeds on Medic, and that's the Ascent roster. What am I talking about? That's the Feint roster. And then we've got Albert Ixie, Scouts, Polygon Chris for Soldiers, Smire and Drac. What is wrong with me? It's Ombrak on Medic. I'm getting confused. Everything's changed, and right now Polygon gets a nice little kill on Amarok. Smire goes down though, and that's 4 players down. And you know what? Things are looking really good. Chris goes down as well. Albert, the only surviving member of SVIFT. I completely butchered that first map, but yeah, that was nice and easy for Feint there.
That's pretty nice mid from Feint there. They sent 2 players through Shithouse on their own, essentially, and they just pushed so many players. I bet essentially, like, not long into the mid, almost all of SVIFT was just sitting on their ramp, their slope there, pretty much with no space taken at all, and they just got completely spammed out by Ali and the nice play from the flank. So yes, Omrak going down is a full advantage for Feint coming into this last.
Yeah, and right now they're looking for some opportunities to go in. We've got Ixie on the Pyro looking for that denial, so they may rotate to lower as Callback is kind of feeling that out. But I think they're going to go for the standard left push. Konu kind of debates it. Ixie goes in. They have used the Uber, but Ixie's doing some good denial.
Oh no.
Sentry Gun takes down Konu as well. So this is a good hold from SVIFT. They haven't lost anything, only their Sentry Gun, and they're looking for the repush with Ixie into lobby. Some nice rotations out of Alba and Polygon there. Chris actually picking up Amarok as well. This is actually not too bad of a hold from SVIFT. And I think there's a little bit of a chase going on, but that's all good, Eemes.
So it's pretty unlike Seeds to be dropping his pocket scout there. So, that being really detrimental to that last push and they completely fail it. And one thing I can point out here is that Rising, normally the roamer for SVIFT, has been replaced by Chris. And while normally you would say that not having a main can be quite a problem, Chris, well, I mean, he's one of the best roamers in Europe. So, probably potentially an upgrade there. So this could be good for SVIFT.
Yeah, Chris is very, very strong. But right now, Chris actually just died to full damage, bless him. Polygon's got quite low. There's a lot of spam. Like, they're staying in really deep, Feint are, and they've used their Uber. Ombrak just gets him his in the nick of the time. They managed to clean up Callback, and they're going for a little bit of a push through choke. Smire just bombs so in. Yeah, way too deep. He's been overextending a lot this season, and that's kind of a repeat of that right now. And the entire team overextends. Yeah. Chris, the only survivor. He does a hop, skip, and jump in the house, but Eemes, what happened there?
I mean, Smith's just getting way too greedy with that bomb. I mean, that's the kind of play that if you're a team like Ascent or maybe I dare say even somewhat like or Electro, my team, that's what you really like to do. You like to be chasing and playing really aggressive. But I don't think that's SVIFT's main playstyle. They're quite a slow team. They take things methodically, and when they do, they're not so coordinated when they all chase together. So if they'd done that all in sync, it might have worked, but wasn't to be for that push. So we're just kind of going too fast.
Yeah, they kind of all trickled in one by one and got cleaned up. Chris is in house, trying to stay alive. Amarok's probably going to go in for the cleanup. He gets the pack, but he's just going to cause a massive distraction. Whilst the rest of the Feint team looking to go through choke. Not too much of a slow game right now, Eames. Looking like both teams really want to push quite hard. Look at Polygon going in. He's going for a play on a Seed. Seed takes a lot. Does get forced. Polygon dies for that, but that's a good situation to be in. Get advantage for your team. They may be able to hold this and push it into second and take Spire back.
It's yeah, slightly unfortunate timing in that from Swift, because if they had Uber like 10 seconds before that, they could have actually come out and blocked Spire with the Uber. But now they have a decent Uber advantage, but they are one down. They're gonna have to wait for Polygon, and there's a decent chance that something could go wrong in this push if they make any kind of mistake. So they're just need to take yard. And start walking towards Spire, but Chris will go down behind. Siege is quite weak in choke, while Max walking it in. Samir wants to take the Uber into choke. He's going forward, lots of damage, but yes!
Oh no, they couldn't even clear him up there. He just rolled it, well, just waddled over, picked it up, and Polygon wasn't in a position to deny him.
I mean, you could see that Feint were probably losing the fight in front because the Uber was going to be quite good, but if there's just one person not accounted for, that would probably be why they're happy to lose it and just sit there and wait for Sorix to do the thing. And yeah, that's why you don't want to be, well, you got to be clinical when you push out Badlands last, or a lot of things can go wrong, as we see this second mid.
Yeah, especially with that cap time. But on this second mid, Swift in a good position. Smiro playing on top of the Hoodoo is actually dealing a lot of damage. Siege gets cleaned up by Chris, so that's a good first pick, but Smiro goes down. Ombrak currently in Valley. Not taking too much. Look at that deny from Alba, though. He picks up callback, so his medic's safe in that chariot formation. Ali a little bit low. They haven't got their players. Ombrak picks up Ali. Play goes on to him from Konu, but he gets cleaned up. And you know what? Swift, nice sort of escape through Valley and then repush with the chariot.
Yeah, I mean, those mids, that mid was actually quite similar to the first one, where Swift had some pretty poor positioning to begin with, but the difference was that they killed Seeds really early on with a nice bomb from, I think it was probably Chris. And that meant that even though they had bad positioning, they could just back out into Valley and just heal up. Omrak was quite weak, but it didn't matter. They got the heals in, they retook the point, and now they're coming into second with a decent advantage. Probably won't be able to take this to last unless they go really quickly, but they will be taking second for free here, with callback also going down on the flank, so not really anything Feint can do to defend the second.
Yeah, they did have Koff on Sniper, I think, sorry, Konu. He's now changed over to Pyro. He wasn't able to land anything, but Amarok nearly went in a bit too deep there. Smiro taking the Uber in. They're trying to deny Konu. Konu actually gets the Uber put on him, and he's able to push all of those Swift players out from main. You got Chris behind. I don't know if they've checked there just yet. I think Callback's going for the check right now. Chris is going to have a little fight. He gets super low, but so does Callback, so they're going to bunch up together. This is all down to who can build up first and who can just force a player out into a position where they can just get that easy kill right now, Eames.
Yep, and at the moment it's not really looking like too much is going on. Both teams just waiting to build their Uber. What you will see on this last is a lot of the time, more so than any other last in the game, you know, people can at any point just suddenly play point, and if no one's paying attention to it, then it can just suddenly be around out completely low. So as we just see Chris going on point, although he didn't have Pain Train there, so potentially he might be sacking to try and get it. I mean, in my opinion, you should almost always be on Pain Train if you're trying to push last here, so he'll probably go and do that. But yeah, you can see, you're probably going to see a lot of point players out of Swift here. Although, as I say that...
Oh, that's such a good pick, though, those two picks there, Eames.
Yeah. I mean, that
you can carry on with your analysis now.
Well, I mean, they've actually just, with those picks, it's completely taken, I don't even know how they happened, but they've taken over Spire. It's really nothing Smear, Ixie, and Omrak can do. Omrak might even get forced to spam here if he's not careful, but they are going to back out Choke. But I really have no idea how that happened. Just a pretty nice play from Ali to actually just capitalize with some poor positioning from Swift. And I mean, what Swift should, like, being on, particularly on this last, so good for you, and they should not have given that up that easily. It's kind of poor from them.
Yeah, but we do. There is some little bit of play going on right now as Chris is waddling towards Seed. Seed takes the first, Seed takes the second, gets the Uber popped off. Chris is still doing a bit of distraction. Amarok finally cleans him up, but the Uber completely useless, not able to be used by Feint in any way. And look at this Valley Z push coming out from Swift. You've got Alba just chasing down poor old Siege there, cleaning him up. Sorax going down as well. This is good position. Only losing Polygon and Chris during that, so their soldiers are going to be back for some sort of setup onto the last.
Yeah, this was really nice from Swift coming in from the flank there, and even though Siege was kind of far back in lobby, they still managed to come all the way in and catch him in main and last, and now they have a about 40% Uber ad, so this is actually quite doable for them on this last. It was initially it was actually quite a good pop from Seeds because he could easily have dropped that to the surprise play from Chris from behind, but still, you know, Chris, the force is still pretty good. It gives him the point and potentially a last push out of it.
Yeah, but right now, Swift players starting to rotate into lobby. How do you feel like they're going to break through this? They've got a little bit of advantage, but it's only 30%, so they're going to have to be as quick as they possibly can. Actually, as we say that, we don't have time to talk, as they are going to rush forwards on the left-hand side. Sorex is not really that far forward, so he's not able to deny anything. The sentry gun gets cleaned up so quickly, but those two players up in that pipe, not really able to get any damage to them. Ombrak gets cleaned up by Amarok, and Swift players start falling left and right. Swift see Chris going to get cleaned up.
Swift are really out of sync there. I mean, so the plan was to not take Smear in the Uber so he could use quickies to delete sticks on point, and he did that from main, but no one actually played point in the end, so it was completely worthless that he did that, and he just died to Amarok, and then the Uber didn't do much anyway because they didn't have a demo in it, so just very, very out of sync from Swift there, not probably communicating what they're all doing. You know, it's like they tried to do a non-default push, and it clearly didn't work out for them.
Yeah, actually, cast your minds back to... actually, Polygon's going in for a big bomb right now. I'll talk to you about that in a second. He tries to get the second on the Siege. What a
huge
serve
milk
away.
from Seeds.
Yeah, that was really good from him. But cast your mind back to Copenhagen last year. Do you remember Ali just kind of stayed on top of point during all the lasts against Essential Larders? I hope he's kind of grown out of that on this, because I feel like he could be really impactful.
There's a trap. Oh!
Smeary.
That's huge from Smear. He had the trap in the ammo pack on point, and no one's took the ammo. No one saw it. Smear will get. I mean, Ali will get 2 picks as they try and push in from in front, and Ombrak will somehow go down. So this has gone from great for Swift to really, really. I mean, they should have never gotten an even situation out of this, but they will be trying to take point here. But yeah, like, I mean, even the most basic sticky trap just on the train, no one checked it inexplicably. So, I mean, that's pretty poor from probably Koff, just not checking traps when he should do as a pocket scout.
Yeah, and they just get cleaned up very quickly by the remainder of the Feint players. They're going to take second for free. I don't see Swift really holding too much of a defense. They may be looking for something in trash just to deny for a little bit. And Polygon are actually really far behind, having a little battle with Korvac right now. But whilst that's happening, all of these Feint players on top of it, they're able to bully out the Swift players, but the Swift players haven't left. Ali tries to catch out, get some damage onto them in lobby, not able to do so. And we're going to have a bit of a reset on a last hold for Swift.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's just really unfortunate that that play from Smear was not actually followed up and properly by his team. Like, they seem to just get, they're like, oh my god, we dropped the med, yeah, let's go. And they try and push, like, way too quickly. And they just lose Ombrak for no reason. Like, it was such a free situation for them, but they just try and walk into Ali at choke, and it's a very small choke point, so, you know, he's playing down man, he will get some kills there. As we do see after that, what could have been nice for Swift is a reset and they're on their last.
Yeah, and we're in an equal situation right now, Eames. Oh, Korvac actually goes down, so we may see Swift push out, but for the time being, how do you feel either team are going to kind of capitalise on the situations they're in?
Well, as I mentioned before, one of the main plays that you want to do is try and somehow pressure point. You can either maybe go quickies and try and get the stickies off, or maybe detonated pyro. You can take an Uber in from bottom right and put both scouts on it, which can just be so surprising that it works. But for almost every play, what you're going to want to do first is take lobby with 6 players and try and get the sentry, because that is the main thing that's going to block you from doing almost anything on this last.
Yeah, and right now we're just seeing sort of the classic sort of spam fests. You know, whilst we were talking about that, there's some really good pressure from Swift. They had Chris go in, and then Polygon tried to clean up on that damage, but nice rotation from Seeds into that small pack area to keep himself alive near drop down. But Chris goes low. Ali takes quite a lot, but yeah, it's all really down to... We may see an off-class, maybe Konu looking at going onto Sniper. Might be a good idea, like maybe a sack from him, but they're sticking with the normal 6 roll with that Sentry Gun and Pyro on Alba and Ixie.
I mean, it does look like Feint, well, from a outside point of view, like Feint don't really have any idea what they're doing right now, as in, like, not that they, but whatever.
Sorex actually just going straight for a play on point. He actually based that really nicely. Now Chris and Polygon need to stay by the point as much as possible. You mentioned this before, but no, I thought Feint, they lost Korvac. I think that's why they didn't go in.
No, this is probably fine. It's good cap time, and if Swift try and do anything, they're probably going to get punished for it. But as I was saying, oh no, Seeds drops to Polygon. I have no idea why they decided to stay on balcony there in such a tiny area where they could just back up to point and have it like really easy to defend. But yeah, Seeds drops to like combined spam from Poly and Smear, and what should have been a pretty nice situation with all the cap time for Feint has actually gone pretty wrong. Callback will be behind getting Smear, and so Feint should be able to put up a bit of a defense on mid, but it's full Uberad for Swift, and they should be taking Spy here eventually if they can kill Callback. Although Ombrak will force.
He gets the force.
Can
Look at that movement from Ali though.
Yeah, that
Did
was
you see
nice.
that? That was pretty slick. But yeah, so we're getting a bit of a reset, mid to second. Advantage to Seeds, even though he did do that drop. That force kind of saved the situation, so nice play from Callback. And they're going to be kind of stalemating this out, waiting for decisions, and again, it's like I'm surprised I'm not seeing a few sniper decisions or off classes from either team. That seems to be something that kind of works on the Badlands when it gets stalematy. But I like this Z rotation out of Feint right now. Double soldier bomb goes in, but woo, Swift back out quite efficiently. Chris goes low, so does Callback. They've actually used the Uber on C's. They need to catch out Ombrak right now. If they can catch him out, that can be something. They get Smear, but I think that's all they're going to get. As Polygon's there, bullying them away. They're going to try and bomb him out. They managed to do so, but not perfect, because now they're at a full Uber disad on second.
Well, they haven't got the med, but Smeary is a really nice pick because he is their main cooler, and you know, having a demo pushing out from this is really, really important if you want to lock off the chokes after you've taken it. So we're probably going to see Swift delay a little bit, although they're not going to do. They're going to come out of trash immediately. We're going to see if what they're going to do about the back cap. They've got Chris on last at the moment, so they should be fine with that. But it's a pretty solid defense from Feint, and there's no demo to really chase them out. Although Smeary has arrived, and Ali probably going to get caught. So this is. But why have they popped for that? Okay, that was a good force from Amarok actually. So, but yeah, Swift are going to be able to roll this into mid with Feint just having to back out, and it's actually a pretty nice push from Swift with those 2 picks from the Uber.
So, you just mentioned like taking down Smear is a really good pick. I have to agree with you, because the game you had on Monday, like every time you were or Electra were clearing up Smear, it did feel like Swift were really struggling to kind of keep themselves together. So I can see that if Feint know that, oh, Sorex gets picked up by some sticks from Smear there. But if they can pick out Smear, they could probably just capitalize on that single pick.
Yeah, definitely. Although they didn't manage to this time because Ali, I don't know, just somehow got a bit too caught off. I think he thought that the Uber would be going a bit slower and just overextended. Should have been able to get out of that. But actually, Swift, Feint have gone so slowly with this Uber. They've allowed Ombrak to build it all the way up, and so Ombrak will have it. We'll have a nice counter pop. Ali will go down in the Uber, and it's looking pretty catastrophic from Feint. They're losing 3 players already. Seeds is trying to get out of there, so he will live, but they will be losing second for this almost certainly. Although Amarok is behind, going to try and make a play onto Ombrak maybe. No, I think he's just going to get out of resup actually. So yeah. Swift, I mean, don't know why Feint took so long. It's sort of uncharacteristic of Seeds to be like, you know, dropping the occasional Uber and like letting advantages slip away. Like you really don't expect it from him. He's not a very clinical medic.
Yeah, and now they've gone in with that Uber. Ali going for that pipe trap, gets cleaned up so quickly from the Ubered Polygon. They're just going to bait point, and that makes it 1-1. So I mentioned this before, just quickly, about Copenhagen Games, and Ali did the same thing, and he just got cleaned up so quickly. Like, it feels like doing that could be a really good surprise play, but if you do that consistently, they just know it's going to happen, and you can't support from that upper area, really, as demo.
Yeah, I don't quite know why Ombrak had so much advantage there. They haven't even traded on mid. Maybe he got a saw or something, but we will see the second mid. Ombrak going really deep onto Smear, getting some good damage. We won't get the frag, going to get cleaned up. And another frag onto Sorex, so flank play completely failed from him, and Feint are just going to have to leave this. None of their plays have worked. They're all going from pretty much solo plays. Ali's going to kill Ombrak though in Valley, so that's pretty huge. Koff and Seeds is just going to run all the way back to spawn. So the saving grace from Ali there, but that was Feint just took 3 1v1s on that mid, and none of them worked.
Yeah, it needs to be more focus call based, especially with their mids. They need to be cleaning up players piece by piece, not, you know, just taking 1v1s in a spread environment, because as we saw, Swift just cleaned them up. It was really well played by them.
Yeah. It was, yeah, exactly as you said. I mean, they're just so split up. It's weird, but yeah, we do see Feint coming out with his Uber advantage. They are going to get forced a nice play from Polygon. They're going to be able to take Spy here, but it's 30% advantage for Ombrak, so not very significant. This should, they're probably going to push on this Swift, but we'll see where they take the Uber from. and Feint just needs to set up here for a force.
Yeah. Well, 70% on Ombrak, 40% just now on Seeds. It's a situation where Swift are kind of in the driver's seat right now. They just need to get some sort of pace going straight into second. And that's exactly what they're doing. Polygon popping himself up, dealing a lot of damage. Nice spam coming out of them. They're just bullying them out. They really don't want to... If they don't have to use this Uber, it'll be very good for them because they can just have an equal Uber situation on last. Getting Seeds would be absolutely perfect as Smire tries to put a lot of damage onto all those players, forcing them out. Alba goes in as well. Seeds is going to have to use. Now, Ombrak just needs to backpedal, make sure that he either gets out or just doesn't die. They've used a much later Uber. They're going to start cleaning up Koth. Seeds getting out. He may get trapped by Ixie here. Ixie's having the 1v1 with Sorex right now. He's super low. He gets Seeds. That's absolutely... Oh no, Ombrak!
Yeah, Ombrak died to Amarok after that. So essentially we just have a load of 1v1s here. Polygon winning it out finally. Sorex going to go for a hiding place somewhere. And Ali will try and take Spire. But essentially, Ombrak tried to milk that for a long time, and he walked so far back behind Spire that the eventual Uber was kind of bad because they couldn't chase it all because he's just left. And although he did eventually get cleaned up in lobby, it wasn't as good as it could have been for Swift. But Feint are not going to contest the second. So actually, I guess it's fairly well played by Ombrak. The counter Uber out of last didn't really work for Feint, and yeah, Swift will take second.
And right now they're on under. Smire actually deciding to go for the quickie bomb launcher. This is good for clearing up that point. Where is okay? So Ali's on the left hand side, so he's not up in that pipe. They've got Korvac kind of handling that. Ixie gets cleaned up by the sentry gun, but they know where it is. It's in that back spot where they used before. So they're not going to really be able to push point without an Uber unless they just go straight down the middle.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice spot once you're deep into the stalemate because it means that there's a lot of point plays that won't be working, particularly from the bottom left, and you can't really get to some locations top right either. But then, there are certain ways, exactly, if you somehow find a way to get all the way in through main, and the sentry can't actually hit you. So it's like, it's got bonuses and
pros and cons.
Pros and cons, exactly. That's the phrase.
But the advantage is now because they've got that sentry placement, and it's very hard for a player to just pop around the corner and spam it. They don't really have to watch left as much. They can focus on denying the right and main. So it does free up a little bit of space for them. We have got some traps in nice places from Ali. He's got some forward traps, so he's not really going for the point defense right now. But yeah, it's actually quite a neat spot when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid hold from Feint. I think they look like they're just trying to dig in for the long haul here, see if Swift will do anything. And that's, I respect that from them. It's 7 minutes. They will have time for another mid. Chris is going to try and get onto point. He will actually 1v1 callback, and he's going to get the point. So close. This could definitely be a lost round.
Your Polygon just jumps on it.
That
was really well played by Chris though. Just that little bit of denial of callback and able to just get so much time on the point, just put Feint in such a bad situation.
Yeah.
But right now it's not looking good for yourself and or Electra. If Swift take both?
If they take 5 points.
5 points.
Yep. But we'll see what Feint decide to do on this mid. They lost the last one, but Chris will go down early, and not great positioning from most of Swift. The health is pretty decent for Feint, and the Swift are just going to decide to leave. So that's a good decision for them to just once they lose one, immediately get out of the mid. No point in staying there, and they should be able to hold second. They're finally going to try and do something. Both scouts are on point, but Ali's pressuring House. They may be going for a sack. That's what I expect them to do. Callback's probably going to go behind. He's going to kill Swift with Ixie, actually. That's quite huge. They're down 2 now, and they're all kind of caught on point. So lots of opportunities for Feint here to try and do something.
Yeah, they've got a nice wraparound of the Swift players. Callback going in, trying to get some sort of force, and he just managed to get it. Siege just going to use a little bit later, saves Callback at the last second. Now Smire, he's just kind of backpedaling. He doesn't want to get caught in, and he's got that trap up, so that's pretty nice. And right now, Feint in a good position to kind of push things forwards. Alba is going to come back up, but they should be able to get lobby and start looking at options to start making plays for that point.
Yeah, so it's well done by Swift. In 2 losing situations, managed to get themselves out without losing anything, without it snowballing. But basically a crucial part of that fight was Alba tried to take a 1v1 with Ali and House, and he got him down to 3 HP, but he did not kill him. And that meant that obviously no pocket scout for Swift, and Feint could take the second point. So yeah, we'll see if Feint can actually try and do the last stalemate breaking that the SVIFT managed to do earlier. What would their plan be?
Right now we've got a standard sentry spot for Mixie. No pyro up on Alba because they're just building as much as they can. We may see a rotation out of Alba into that class. No, he's staying on scout right now. No, yeah, he has gone on to pyro. That's kind of what I expect. Usually, like the old school Badlands, you know, like was it 2 seconds timer it used to be? Well, it was 1, then it went to 2, was it? I can't remember.
I think now it's 2, right?
I think it's really low now, but as we say that, the Uber does come in. They managed to pick up the sentry gun, but I don't think it's that good of an Uber. They're going to have to go for some sort of repush play or just a rotation if they want to try and cap this point off. But both teams, now without their Ubers, they have really not good classes to push out on the Swift side. So I feel like Feint are trying to play that. Callback in behind, distracting some players, does get cleaned up. Amarok picking up that sentry gun, but still, Feint not able to really make too much of an advantage for themselves.
They're really overstaying their welcome here. Like, when they lose a couple of players, they should just go back, change the plan up and reset, but they're losing players and then losing a couple more players, and now they're probably going to be losing Spire, which is, like, they're in such a dominant position when they're on Swift's last, but they just, without seeming to have a great plan, they will sack 2 or more players and just, like, continue to sack them and then lose the point, and it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like they get themselves into a good position and they just can't finish. And Chris actually goes down to callback. That was kind of an interesting death. Like, I thought he would have been out of there, but he got caught out. And right now, callback's in a position where he can really make a play onto Ombrak, but he gets called out by Ixie and just damn it, he just gets suspended by Ixie.
Yep. Yeah, we do see a reset here.
It's interesting because this is such a contrast to how the game was going on Monday between yourself and Swift. It was a lot quicker, a lot more intense. But right now, both these teams, obviously, I feel like they've got a bit of a lot more pressure under themselves because they want to make sure that they get playoffs. So they don't necessarily want to go in as hard as that they may usually. But then Ali likes to bring it into that slow pace that we've kind of seen over the past few years. It's kind of yourself, Eames, that is shaking stuff up at the moment.
Perhaps, yeah. I think, Swift are pretty happy to just do nothing here. And Feint, I don't know why, they just don't seem to have any proper ideas in the stalemates on last. Yeah, currently they're just looking a little bit lost. Colbert will go in for a sack, but it's probably not working. He's going to get destroyed instantly. Normally his bombs are a little bit more effective than that, not even getting any damage on Ombrak. But yeah, Swift probably just going to be happy to sit here. There's 3 minutes left and Feint have to do something. And when, Feint like to play quite slow and wait for their opponent to make mistakes. And, well, at the moment they're going to have to try and do something. And if the callback sack isn't working, they may start making some rash decisions that they're going to regret.
Yeah. So right now it looks like maybe a Z rotation. That's the only thing I can think is maybe some sort of Z rotation with a lot of pressure might catch someone out. But Chris is watching that. But right now they're in house. Ale gets picked up by Smire, and that's something that you really don't want to lose in any situation on Badlands is your demo. And we're going to see a bit of a backpedal from Feint as they are aware that Smire is going to want to take this forward. He's not looking to overextend as much as we've seen before. They're looking for maybe a house. No. So they don't need to push. They don't need, Swift just need to stay in the driver's seat, throw as many spanners in the works. But Bob comes in. Ombrak actually gets forced off that Uber. But now we've got a backpedal from Feint. We may see... No. So... They're playing it safe. They're aware that if they go in and make mistakes, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose second. But look at this Z rotation. They get Smire. That's a good Chris. Alba 3 down on the Swift side. Only Konu going.
Ombrak's gonna get caught back here. They're caught in trash, but they will die. Ombrak's gone way too early, but he will finally die. So yeah, it's only Sorex and Seeds and Ali, but Ali maybe going down to Ixie and B, but. Sorex and Seeds, that's much all you need. They're going to have advantage for this last, and Ali will maybe survive. If you can hit a pipe here. Yeah, okay, Ali will somehow live. But, what was really questionable there was it was quite a fast rotate from Feint, and Smir bombed straight into their, 5 players coming in through Valley, and just instantly fed. It was completely unnecessary because he could have just spammed it and taken heroes and done pretty much the same thing. But he's tried to bomb into them to like make a hero play and get a 2 or 3k, and he's just fed. So he's given Feint a really good opportunity here to try and tie this game up.
Even a jump onto Slayer would be a good decision from him, just getting himself into a position where he's not easy to be damaged and just can punish the players for going in and bunching up. But as they come in on this left-hand side with the Uber, they're trying to deal with that sentry gun. Alba's managed to keep it alive for so long. Ixie on the Putis, but he's not coming out of spawn. He's able to deny them a little bit. They've got Sorex and Korvac behind. They're looking for maybe some sort of play. The sticks actually kill Konu, but trying to make a play right now. They've lost 3 players though. Only Ombrak going down.
They just need to leave her. They have killed Ombrak. Yeah, they can come all the way back and play with this Uber advantage. And maybe, yeah, so press feeding there is actually pretty... Well, okay, they're probably not going to dry push, but yeah, there's not going to be any onto seeds, so they will have one more advantage push to try and tie this game up. They need to... I mean, they've been taking so little ground on the top left, and the heavies literally just stayed in the spawn door and spammed them out, so they need to take over top left properly, and then start trying to make plays under point. Because, I mean, Swift is just focusing the point so hard that they just need to go for frags here, but we'll see what they try and do.
Yeah, and Feint looking to go on the left-hand side. They've used the Uber once again. Ixie able to deny really nicely for the sentry gun, but the sentry gun is just going to be swapped out as Alba, I think, switched to Scout. And bit of an extended post-Uber fight, but they have to be careful as Ombrak's Uber is ticking up. They do pick up Alba and Smeare. Ixie going down as well. They cleared the point. They put in place. Ombrak saves it with the Saw. Sorex. They got the Uber just off that Saw. That was so good, Eemes.
Yep, and if Sorex can maybe win a 1v1 with Chris here, then they'll be able to do it, but it's looking very, very unlikely. They just have to survive. Seed's going to go in, but they can't do it, and this is actually... Wow, that's a map for Swift. GG, indeed.
Oh, the pressure is on for you, Eemes.
Yep.
Only 2 more points needed to knock you guys out of playoffs.
Indeed.
But, you know, you could see that both teams were feeling the pressure. It wasn't super intense. They weren't trying to always force mistakes. It was a lot of waiting for the other team to make the move and then try and go off that. So I wonder how it's going to be going into the next map.
Indeed. It's going to be pretty intense, particularly for me.
Are you okay? Do you need to sit down or a lay down or something?
I don't know.
Have you got a fan on you or something? I can feel the sweat from here, my friend.
I mean, I've been willing them to do the right last push, but they haven't been listening to me. As we can have a look at the logs, though.
Oh, yeah, let's have a look at the logs.
What do I detect? Pretty nice KD from Alba there. 18 for 10. Top KD in the server. Top kills as well. Sorry, 18 for 8 with 10 positive frags. What else am I seeing? Polygon, nice damage. Top damaging the map. I don't know. Pretty standard games from both demos. Maybe slightly better from Ali, but... And indeed, yeah, Ali taking only 22% heals and doing a decent amount more damage than Smear. Well, a little bit more than Smear, so that's pretty well played by Ali. I don't know. What do you see in these logs, Grumpy? I'm just sort of reading numbers here.
Yeah, I hate logs. It's just reading numbers. You know, I'm not going to look at the logs. I'm going to go about how the game felt. I felt like Smeare's trying to rein himself back in, but he's still doing the overextension plays we've seen from him before, and I feel like he needs to kind of get a curb on that. You know, the soldiers, Chris is, you know, trying to work his best, make opportunities. Polygon's putting in a lot of work as well as Amarok. Amarok got a really nice drop during that sort of push out into last on Ombrak. Sorry, no, that was Seeds, wasn't it, on Polygon? I've got the two mixed up, my bad. But yeah, it's interesting. I feel like both medics were putting in a lot of work, trying their best to keep their teams alive and choose the right times to Uber. I think it's all about just the overall team play and just making sure that I feel like Feint need to focus call more and always have a plan. I feel like they get to a point where they're in advantage and they go, now what? When they really need to go, okay, we're going to do this, let's go forward. It feels like there's a bit too much hesitation out of them.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I mean, probably the last pushes, like they had at least maybe 3 last pushes that were full advantage that they failed. It seemed like the 6 on point and Polygon in the ring combined with the sentry top left, was just too much for them to deal with. They just didn't really get anything done with their Uber. Didn't seem to have a plan once they'd Ubered in, which was kind of unfortunate. So yeah, that's definitely something they need to pick up for this next map.
Yeah, it is one of those things. But let's talk about how these. So you've played against both these teams on process. Who do you? I assume, or at least in scrims, because Electra are known as one of the teams to scrim. I saw the. Did you see the tweet from?
Yes, I saw
your
it.
boy. Yeah. And I agree with that, because I was talking to Dumtum and he's like, he always wants to catch an Electra scrim because you guys just scrim anyone consistently, which is really nice. But scrims against these teams and officials as well. What are you going to expect? Like matching the two up, who do you feel like has the advantage on the process map?
I mean, I would have said Feint had the advantage on Badlands on both maps, really.
Like if you're going to talk about scrims, in scrims today, they beat Ascent 3-1 on Badlands just now, with Ali playing really, really well. So, you'd expect them to be dominant on both maps, but I mean, I'm going to have to go with my gut and say they will still win this map. But the things I expect to see from them, in particular, are like aggressive soldier bombs on mid. They really like to just get Callback and Amarok just in really deep and just see what they can get, and then follow up with their scouts if they can.
Yeah. One thing I'm just super excited for, especially on process, is I love the sort of style of the soldier jumps, like the double soldier bombs and the different stuff. So last season, Adiski and Eemes did some really wonderful plays with some high-low bombs. Yeah. And then you've got your teammate Azunas has been absolutely explosive on mids. And I can imagine on a map like Process, he's probably as explosive. Like Korvac and Chris are both very confident roamers. Like, how do you feel like their impact's going to be at the start of this? Because I feel like, especially with a really impactful roamer rollout on a map like this, it could make or break the first mid.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're both very strong roamers. Chris is Chris, you can pretty much put him in any team and he will just like take 1v1s and do well, even like completely regardless of whether or not he's being followed up on. I expect him to be doing of that, maybe, I don't know, just doing his own thing on mid. Whereas a lot of the strength of Feint is that Korvac and Amarok have pretty good synergy. They're the two French soldiers, and Korvac will go, deep from a high bomb from right side, and then Amarok will bomb straight into you, and it's like you can't really look at both of them, and then they'll get some good damage, and then Feint will win mid potentially. I can't remember what the start of this thought was, but
we got to this point, so keep going.
Feint will probably be the team that's playing more off the soldier synergy, I expect.
Yeah, well, especially like being main roster as well. But Chris, one thing I've got to say about Chris is he can kind of slot himself into any team. We've seen him play officials last season and present season, where he kind of just fits into any team as a merc. It doesn't feel like too much of a loss having him there. He's quite an adaptive player.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we will be going live very shortly. I'm just thinking what else to really talk about. It's really one of those where we'll be able to say so much more when this gets, because I was of the same veneer as you when it comes to sort of the matchup. I did feel like Feint would take the Badlands, and with Swift actually taking it, it's like
anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, and it's really impactful for you because if they do take it, I really want to see you guys in playoffs. I generally do, but I also really, really like Swift. I want Swift to be. I just want everyone to be in playoffs. I'm unbiasedly biased, if that even makes any sense. I want everyone to be there because it's been a really good season so far, honestly.
Yeah, it has. I mean, apart from the two teams dropping, which has been pretty unfortunate. It has.
Yeah, the caliber's been really great, especially with the new Swift. And the new Ascent rosters have been pretty big. We've got yourselves that You know, you picking up picking up Pappy on your pocket. Was he marking or is he on the roster now?
He's main, yeah.
Yeah, he's main. I was pretty sure he's main, but sometimes I get all my information wrong because I've just been working the past 8 days, so my brain is just like. But yeah, picking up a player like Pappy, like all these rosters are so strong. So coming into this mid, like we will see what happens. Look at that rollout from Ali though.
Both of them is very fast actually.
Yeah, both of them. Now we've got the both the roamers coming in at the exact same time. So right now both teams showing that they can get there quick. So now it's kind of how they're going to organize their decisions. Korvac going over the top, Polygon jumping over him. Goes, oh my god, that's sick! Smeary cleaning that up as well. 4 players just go out of existence.
Yeah, I mean,
on the Fate side.
Honestly, that mid, Chris literally won the mid. He spammed Ali a lot at the start, and even though Korvac rolled out fast, Korvac did absolutely nothing to Chris. He spammed Ali a lot, and then Ali literally just sat and choked for ages. And I mean, essentially, when Polygon bombed, he bombed into 3 players who were all directly beneath him, and he absolutely annihilated them. And Chris didn't even die from his play that pushed them back. So, yeah, literally just a solo play from Chris, like out DMing Korvac and Ali together, and just doing so much damage that they had terrible position.
Yeah, and what an explosive start from Swift, and they're already in a position where they can go forward. They're going to come out of number 4 right now. They've started off with the Uber. They're going to clean up that sentry gun nice and easy. They're going to start cleaning up the point. Now they just need to stick someone on that and protect them. Just started off. He does get bullied by Sorex on the heavy. Nice positioning from Feint as they try and clean up players. Actually, Korvac goes down, but Polygon's in a really good position to bully some players. Ali, a little bit overextended, nearly got cleaned up, but with only Smeary and Ixie left.
Yeah, on the back lines, Amarok making a huge play. I don't actually know where he came from, but he flanked Ombrak in lobby and got a huge pick on him as he left. So what would have been just a second take and an Uber advantage is now a huge Uber advantage, probably a mid take for free, and maybe even a second and last take for Feint if they play this properly. What was the problem there was, well, Chris went down early in the last push, and Feint literally, they just stood on their side with Ali sticking the point, and Smid just couldn't really do anything to them. Just getting very little done with his Uber. As Feint do look to take this this mid, as we do have Albert trying to snipe from forwards, but he will miss his timing, I think. So actually, he's still fucking choke.
Because Chris was actually on siege there, and he manages to get the force. Ixie going down, but it's not going to be enough. Like, Chris is just going to get some packs and turn up at any moment, so they're going to be constantly looking behind themselves, but they still want to go forward. Korvac bombing in. Oh my god, that denial from Polygon. That was crisp to the maximum.
I like
that
this
was
decision
so well done.
To push from Feint here though, because they had the 2 pick advantage to go into the Swift second, but they have actually taken a little bit too long and the picks have spawned. So yeah, they will have Swift will have a good Uber advantage to come into mid here.
Yeah, and you know that whole play is completely denied the Feint push. And we're going to see Polygon looking to come in. He was going to maybe bomb in, but he decides to just spam from on top of that shutter of sewer. Korvac in from behind, gets cleaned up by Ixie. He made a nice play, but weren't able to land anything. Bit of a bully, getting that high ground for Swift right now. And they get mid with a nice, just, you know, general aggression and spam. They managed to just clean it up without having to use their Uber.
Yeah. I mean, if we go all the way back to the play where Seeds got forced in choke, it was actually really nice communication from Feint, because Alba was peeking choke, right, and he was scoped up on it, and he was waiting for Siege to come through, and he knew that he hadn't gone through, and all of Feint pretty much had gone through. He just left Siege in choke, and then Chris just bombed him completely alone in choke, 2 rockets him, forces him, and then goes out. And with Chris actually going in and getting another huge medallion, so this could actually open this up for a nice push from Swift if they do this properly. Chris just really being the man for Swift right now.
Yeah, and what's really good is because as long as Smeary doesn't overextend, he can just use the heals and bully the Feint team out, and they're starting to do so. Polygon just jumping over, dealing that spam, getting that high ground. They've managed to force the Uber out of Seeds. He tried to make a play. Ombrak's going to do the return. Korvac getting cleaned up, and it's looking, positioning-wise, a lot better for Swift. They're going to bully them out a second, equal Ubers, and you know, we're going to look for that setup and, again, that stalemate breaking from either team.
And, I mean, it's kind of crazy to say it, but this is essentially a 3rd fight in a row that Chris has just won for his team. Pretty much, like, I mean, Swift executed it pretty well, but having a demo alive there was pretty much all they needed to take second if they do the spam correctly. So, yeah, him playing really well. Although Smear will go down in lobby from an aggressive play from Swift, so it's the kind of the opposite, the reverse here. Ali should be able to try and take this in from 1 if he's going to come in here, and it's looking like a decent push out with Polygon going down as well. So Swift are going to have to leave to mid.
Yeah, they've managed to push them out. Nice bully from them. Bit of spam coming out from Korvac, and I think they'll be able to quite easily get him. Ali's jumped in very, very deep. He's taken a lot of damage, but he hasn't gone too far. He's still with Seed. Seed's able to heal him up. But Swift, on the return, they've got a bit of the high ground with Halber and Ixie on top of the crates. And they're just scattergunning and spamming away. Chris getting cleaned up in the back lines by Korvac. And right now, it's all kind of just a little bit of a to and fro. It could be anyone's sort of mid-fight, so to speak, right now. As, Feint are just slowly, inch by inch, trying to bully Ombrak. Gets super low, though, in choke now. Polygon gets suspended. Look at that rocket from Amarok cleaning him up. Alba bullying again. Both teams doing some really good bullying play. Ixie actually a little bit of an overextension from him. Gets cleaned up. And all 6 players for Feint still alive, with the 2 going down for Feint. Yeah. They're going to have to... Swift. They're going to have to back out.
Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword with how aggressive Chris is playing, because he has been winning them fights, but in this one he lost them a fight by they didn't have a Roma, and they had that less spam for quite.
Oh, Seeds actually popped. I don't see what caused him. Was that Chris forcing in IT?
Based on past events, I'd assume it was. But anyway, as I was saying, on the mid, the reason they lost the fight was they obviously had a Roma down. So him going for so many plays means that they are also sometimes vulnerable when he does get picked. Sorry, carry on, Grumpy.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I'm listening to you talking away. It's all good to me. But right now, Polygon and Ombrak getting lobby for their team. They're looking to pressure. They know they've got Uber advantage, so Siege needs to get in choke, be in a position to back out as soon as the Uber comes in, and it's all about getting that force and maybe having a post-Uber fight afterwards. But I don't think Ombrak wants to play it too aggressively. Again, they're feeling the pressure. They don't want to make those mistakes. Like, normally we'd see Swift go forward, but they've actually left it so long that it's equaled out on the Ubers. Yeah. So right now, both teams maybe looking to go into lobby on Feint's side right now, Eames.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, so that was kind of a... is this game going to be cagey and slow test? With, Swift having about 50% advantage, pushing out of last is definitely doable if they want to, but they opted not to, so yes.
Chris is in behind. Oh, if Chris went the other way, he would have landed right on Seeds there, but he's going to get cleaned up. He does clean up Korvac, though, so that's a Roma for Roma.
So the answer to that question is, from Swift's point of view anyway, this game will be cagey and slow. They're going to not be taking too many risks wherever possible. And what I'd like to see from Feint is not like on Badlands. They just seem to when they were in this position, they would take space in lobby or something, and then they would just lose players, and they wouldn't really do anything from it, and they would also just lose second after losing maybe 3. So I'd like Feint to have a better plan here. Like, what are they actually going to do? Are they going to do a double sack and then play outside and then trade? But properly set it up so they don't just happen to lose second after feeding some players.
Yeah, I think that is very important. And again, it's just that probing, trying to clean up those players. We don't see any sort of, one defensive and one sort of sniper. Now, Alba's rotations on sniper are really good, so that's something that Koff needs to be very aware of. But Koff is a high caliber sniper. He's really shown himself this season and his past season in high. And he's taken a little bit of spam, but I think it's all down to the sniper pick right now. Chris taking a bit of damage, but we're going to see what Koff can really do. It's a battle. He gets Alba, so he wins that 1v1 there. So that's one dome. Maybe looking for a second. Now he's got a little bit of breathing room. He's going to go on the far right side. Maybe he's going to go for the play. Oh, tries to get onto Smiro. Not able to do so. Crisp out as well, not giving them a chance for a second shot.
And seems we get forced in lobby to some spam from, I think, Chris and Smear at the same time. Ali's going to try and come in and do something, but they're not really getting anything. Smear's going to take it into lobby, and Ali is probably caught off in lobby if they're going to go for him. I've actually used those. It's a pretty nice force from Ali, who will die, but if they play this properly, they could actually recontest. But they are going to have to leave from choke now. So even though there's only there's a sentry on last, so there's not too many players up from Swift. They're just going to leave, and they won't actually get forward. So that's a nice stack from Swift, and they can actually take this to mid now if they're quick.
Yeah, and Polygon's actually going to be going in once again, looking to cause something. Korvac getting bullied out by Chris. Chris goes low. You know what? that was really well done by Swift getting out of their last. They've, like you mentioned, completely bullied Feint, but Chris gets cleaned up by the scatter shots from Konu whilst he's in the air. And they, you know, Feint bullying them out of mid. They're not going to let them have it. And there's a bit of a chase on. Maybe Amarok look for a play, but no, they got him through choke. All of the Swift players are backing out. They know they haven't got Uber advantage, and Uber advantage is with Feint. They may be going in through 2 right now, or looking for some sort of rotate. If they want to use this advantage, they need to go in really, really quick.
Yeah,
they've lost it.
They don't have time for that. But it was nice from Swift. They just, I think notoriously they haven't been very good at playing those long, drawn-out DM fights. Feint is normally just like ending up winning the spam battles from that, perhaps due to just general superior DM.
Oh my God! Chris! What a shot from Chris. He manages to clean up Seeds there. That's such a big play. He just manages to peek through 5 and catch him. It's not good for Feint. They're going to have to back out and just try and go for the force.
I didn't think I would almost ever be saying this, but in this series, Seeds dropped 3 times, Ombrak has dropped 0 times. So, that's not normally what you'd expect. But it's pretty huge play from Chris there. Again, putting the team on his back. And we'll see how Swift want to take the second. Smear's going to try and peek from 1, just completely alone. But Ali's going to go down on point, way overextended there. I don't know why he's dying for that. Koi's just going to have to leave, and they're not going to even get the force. So this is like really messy play from Feint, and it's just giving Swift a really easy road into mid here. They had no traps at all. They can just walk in.
The most important thing I feel for Feint right now is they need to get a force out of Ombrak on this mid. If they're able to do so, they can maybe go in with a repush on the Uber. Korvac is in behind having a little fight with Ixie. Whilst that is happening though, they're taking a lot of damage, but with Chris down and Ixie distracted, Amarok goes in for the play. He gets the force. This is what they needed. Siege just needs to get out or use the Uber in a better situation, trying to catch those players. Ali just goes in deep. Look at that damage on the Ombrak.
Ombrak's so weak.
So low.
They're also weak on Feint, on Swift, but they're not going to get taken out. And actually, Ali will die in choke, so if Korvac had actually timed the bomb correctly onto Ombrak, that would have worked so well, but he doesn't go for the right player, and all the damage just completely goes to waste from Feint, and they're going to get absolutely nothing out of this.
I honestly thought with the amount of damage they put onto Swift, that was going to be like 3 or 4 down for Swift, but they managed to keep all their players alive and do the exact reverse for Feint. Maybe that was a bit of a focus problem again. Chris gets cleaned up by Korvac. I think Chris kind of went in for a big play through IT, weren't able to do so. But this free stuff up for Korvac is really important, but he's not able to do anything, and he manages to get out with his life.
It's the second time in a row that Chris has died at Korvac on the flank. But, the last time he's going to go onto Ombrak, going to get Ombrak down to 13 HP, but he's not going to use that. That's actually really, really nice from Ombrak, knowing that there was just absolutely no other damage that could have come in. So nice from him. But, if Feint manages to reset here, they could probably just go for a very similar psych, and with him Ombrak getting that low this time, if they try a few more times, it will probably work. Korvac is pretty good. And
Chris is going on the left-hand side onto Seeds. He just dies to his own damage, but that would have been really nice if he wasn't called out. He did deal a nice meat 100 onto Seeds, but weren't able to clean him up.
And this is 2 solis down for Swift here. I don't know if they meant to double soli sack, but that's what they have done. So, Feint should be able to take point here, but Smear will try and take the train. They're going to delay for their soldier spawns, which will actually delay it quite effectively. But Alba will go down, so I don't know why Swift didn't actually take the trade out. Smear could have just walked in and taken a nice Uber, but they didn't, and now Feint have taken the point when if he'd have delayed and actually done some good damage in that, he could have done a lot.
Korbac's in, he tries to get something onto it. Oh, just too many blue players. He does a nice little skip jump, but not able to kind of capitalize on it.
I really don't understand that play from Korvac, to be honest. It was like such a low percentage play. Like, I don't know, he would have had to hit like 2 directs into Ombrak, who was above him. Like, it's kind of insane. I guess he thought they'd be distracted, but yeah, he could have just curved off once he realized. I guess I know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. He could have curved off, got out maybe through Al Qaeda, but it happens. Yeah. Sometimes your mind is telling you no, but your body is definitely telling you yes. And if you land those frags, it's so important. But Ali just gets skybox right now as he's a bit too far in choke.
If people didn't go for crazy plays, there would be no frag videos.
Yeah, exactly. And Amarok goes in, tries to create that space. Polygon with the return, the riposte, cleans him up, and both soldiers down for Feint. This is not a position they want to be in. They haven't got that much spam to deny them coming through choke, and Polygon's going to take that opportunity to try and get some of the high ground. Koff just denying really nicely. And we may see Chris go for a play over the point. He is dealing a lot of damage onto those players. And once again, you know, this is this extended mid fight. Swift not able to clean it up just due to the skill of the Feint players. And Ali very far forward, manages to force the Uber, but Seeds was forced as well. Ali getting cleaned up. Maybe a situation to go all the way to last if they're not careful.
They should be recontesting here if they want. Oh no, they've actually gone way. Oh, Ombrek will die, so that's huge. And Seeds is actually alone. He will probably die in the corner, but he's going to dodge really well. That's huge from Seeds, and Smear's not going to get him. So, you know, just the 2 picks in the Uber from Feint is really winning this out for them, and Seeds with a clutch little dodge there. So, yeah, Feint have actually won this, and they should be able to take mid here, and probably second as well.
Yeah, there is Ombrek and Alba are up, but I feel like they're gonna just have to back out as those players start turning up. Actually, no, the respawns are all here, so well, barring Chris, he can just skip into a good position. So we've got Ixie on 1 on Sniper watching that choke. So if he can get a really nice pick, if they try to go in, I feel like that will be really important, or see someone peek.
They are coming IT, but the stick's up top and a Sniper watching lower, so it could be really difficult for them. Ali's going to use through, they've popped through, he didn't have flash to the sticks, and Corbett's going to Ixie, so they haven't really done anything with this Uber, I think. So they're just going to have to restart in second, and 80%, and both sides have gone down. I don't know why Amarok died in lobby there, that's kind of pointless. So this is going to be a retake of second for Swift pretty easily, with fully Uber advantage, and 2 down. Ali's going to die on point again, probably. Why Ali? Okay, he somehow lives, but that's, again, him being way overextended, kind of for no reason. And Swift still with Uber advantage to take this to mid.
Yeah, and they're going to have to do a lot of work if Swift start getting their pace on. They're looking like they're going to go through sewer, which might be a little bit of a surprise, but they've also kind of funneled themselves as well. Ombrek taking a lot, Amarok trying to clean them up. They've used that Uber, Amarok getting cleaned up. Now they're fighting them in IT on Seeds. Seeds is dodging really well. Ali's going to get trapped in, but Seeds is out with his man, and he's just about to get Uber as well.
Yeah, Ali getting caught again by an Uber, and well, the Seeds has ad hits, and Ombrek might get caught in choke. There's a nice Uber in, they could catch them all out here if they go deep. Corbeck doesn't hit his rockets though, so they're not really going to get very much other than Polygon. They're going to pressure onto point, but there's better spawns for Swift probably, and if Corbeck go extensively, he could get really punished for it. Down behind, and Swift, it looks like he's going to die as well. Okay, so somehow that works out for them.
Yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of little scrappy mistakes from both teams, and sometimes not being punished, and sometimes being punished very quickly. Polygon a little bit overextended, taking a lot of damage, but Feint, nice clean push into second. Not, you know, nothing too shabby. They've just bullied them out where they needed to, and they can just get their Uber and try and deal with this repush, but they know that they've got Uber advantage, so they're going to go in this lower lobby door.
It's such a tiny advantage for Swift here. They're going to opt not to push. This is actually pretty smart by them. It could have been gone really wrong for them, so they'll get set on last. And it's nice by Feint overall there to just use their Ubers to just get a few picks, and then just say, you know what, we've got 2 picks, we can do whatever we like now, and then just take a lot of space, and it doesn't really matter what percent the enemy has, even if Ombrek survives.
Yeah, and it's very scrappy, like spam city right now from both teams. They're looking to just get a lot of damage onto a player, but Alba picks up Amarok, so he's going to look for another rotation, but there are ways there, so the element of surprise for the pick class isn't quite there, and Chris gets picked up. But, you know, players are dropping for both teams. It's 2 for 2. You know, either team could really look at capitalizing on their picks, but as soon as they try and do anything, the other players of the opposing team are cleaning them up.
Yeah. It seems just both teams are just saying, you know what, I mean, apart from maybe Polygon, but all of the other 3 soldiers are just lambs to the slaughter, basically. They're just going for all the plays. They're pretty low percentage most of the time, but they're just, you know, they're just in trying to make anything happen when they can.
Yeah, well, they don't want this to stalemate. They don't want this to come into a situation where even though... Okay, so sorry for my pause there, but Konu has a sentry gun in front of him on my screen, so that has completely thrown me off. He just has a level 3 sentry gun that he's like traveling around with him.
I see. I mean, that is kind of Koff's playstyle, yeah. And they do get the force if you say that, so I don't know why Koff was one sacking and not Sorex, but anyway, they have got a nice force. Probably going to go and kill Ali. Ali's overextending again. I don't know why they're doing this, but I think Swift Feint are going to rotate through IT here and try and catch them. Okay, no, they're not. I don't know. Maybe they are, but Season going with them. So that could have been really nice for them, but Ali's just going to get picked up. And now what could have been like a Uber advantage into last is going to be an Uber advantage into second only.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still stunned and very confused about the floating sentry gun I just witnessed. It was just a level 3 sentry gun that was making the noise and shooting at things, but not dealing any damage. It confused me. Is Konu hacking?
Potentially.
Hacking in a sentry
possible.
gun? It's
But,
possible.
So
But
Swift
yeah.
have not committed to the second and two, and that does actually leave room for Feint to come in here with a 30% ad. They're going to use in through right side. Ali's going to go really deep onto the heavy on left. There's not really 6 on Pill. It's going to start getting played, but they haven't got much with the Zuba. They're going to be sitting on right and getting absolutely nothing done. Polly's going to bomb into them, and they're getting really nothing out of the Zuba. Ali's getting caught again. They're just going to have to leave. Ali trying to go way too deep with that, and they're getting absolutely nothing from it.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like a little slower push, a far right 5 push would have been really good from the Fame boys. Just something a bit slower, looking at the opportunities, forcing a bit of a rotation out of Swift before having to use their Uber might have been a little better. I do understand the Uber situations, but I just feel like you mentioned, Ali just went in too deep. He got cleaned up, and then from there, things started falling apart really for Feint on that last push.
Yeah, definitely. Ali will be leaving through Troika, away from this Uber. Sorax might actually get caught if Polygon can hit a nice rocket. Yeah, he probably is getting caught. He's going to get onto Ombrak. He doesn't hit the shot, so it's really close from him, though. Nice play, and Seed's going to get forced in Troika. They'll come back in. Smear's probably caught. Ali's going to go super deep onto Ombrak. Ombrak dies, so that's huge. And Alba's going to be still in, but Seeds can probably live here if he plays this right. Both Solly's in his choke. He just needs to walk away from him. There's a scout onto Seeds. He's juking around, and Chris is still behind, so he can't make the play. He's going to go in now. He's stomping deep. Will he get him? No, the huge dodge, but Seeds will still go down. That's so unlucky from Seeds, and Ixie will probably die now. But, wow.
Whoa.
Crazy stuff.
So much happening there. That was intense. That was absolutely nuts. But it does end up with Feint being on top. So they're going to look at getting up this second. And call back in a really, like, no one knows. Oh, Alba just spots him at the last second. That would have been absolutely awful. Amarok wins a 1v1 at the end, but Alba's just going to come and, you know, he's going to get sandwiched by the 2 scouts, so there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting. It seems like Feint are always getting into a position right now where they can maybe put the nail in the coffin and,
Ali's
and
gonna
get
feed
around.
again. No,
What is Ali doing? Why is he so far forward?
I don't know. I could not tell you, Grumpy.
This is not making sense. Why? Smearo's in deep now, but he's not going to get pressured by anyone because he knows that demo is down. Callback gets picked up, and now we've gone coast to coast. 90% Uber on Seeds, 100% on Swift with Ombrak, and they're going to be playing a very slow right now, seeing if they can get a force out of Seeds before having to use. It's equal on the Uber exchange, a lot of flashing from both teams. It's all about this post-Uber fight as Polygon looks to get into a good position. They've started the cap time. They're going to jump across point and try and deal as much damage as possible. Ali cleaning up players. There's so many players down for both teams.
There's no point.
Only 2 left. Ombrak swinging left, right, and center. Is he going to survive? Oh!
Wow, that was...
Oh,
I mean, he wasn't going to cap there, but he did almost get Seed, so that would have been really insane. But there should be a decent second cap for Feint after that very, very intense last push. It was probably good of Swift to go for the 50-50, just pretty unlucky that they didn't get it. And now, yeah, in this absolute roller coaster of a game, Feint again will have a nice advantage going into mid, and we'll see if they can, you know, take mid and then not actually overextend Ali and maybe keep it this time. Who knows?
Yeah, and Feint are going to use that Uber, and Ali goes in very deep.
Smith should be caught here. Oh no, that's a nice jump out.
He managed to get a kill with his jump as well, which is always a nice little bonus. Chris has just gone so far behind. He may be able to pull a player behind, but no one's going for him because the rest of Swift have gone in. They picked up Amarok. They're dealing a lot of damage. Now Chris is just going to walk in free choke and clean up Ali. The Seeds read that really nicely and went through IT. And it's going to get out from 2. That's really, like, it looks like such a simple play, but Seeds did a big brain play there.
And Swift are coming in here. Ali still hasn't spawned. They have fully advantage. They've gone in completely free. They're just going to play just like a great last switch for Swift. Unless something crazy can come out from Ali, maybe some sickies under point. He will go down and spawn there. Chris with a huge toucan. This is the first round going to Swift. It looks
That's
like
25 minutes first round.
Yeah.
Oh, This is tense. This is tense. This is so intense because right now, if I'm sorry to bring this up, but if Swift win this off, or Electra can't make it into play, it'll be an absolute shame. As we do come into this second mid of the map, Ali and Smira were in very quick. Didn't see it as an impressive rollout from the soldiers, but we may be seeing Connor looking to maybe set himself up. Never mind, but Polygon in onto choke. Chris now going on to Siege. Siege surfing away really nicely from that damage. He's staying alive quite nicely. Polygon getting cleaned up. Albert's super low. Amarok goes for the play. Doesn't manage to do anything, and that's 4 players out with only Amarok actually going down for Feint, and Korvac goes into the chase. Like you mentioned, he did a nice little wave off there to not die, and he's going to stay in the fight for his team. Smiro going super low, but Konu goes down. Siege is in a bad position. Yeah. He's going to have to use that Uber. They're jumping over the point. Can they get Ombrak? No, Ombrak's going to be forced. What is going on, Eemes? Both teams just getting so close to killing the meds, but they get the Ubers at the last second. And now poor Feint are on the back pedal.
It was a nice mid from Feint, but they're just getting a little bit antsy here. Just trying to go way too quickly and, you know, just rushing these fights. And they're going to be probably just having to back out mid here with 2 down and 1 spawner. And yeah, Ali's probably just going to have to leave. Will he get caught again? Who knows? Poly's got the bomb really deep, going to get a lot of damage on him, and he will die to Smear. So Feint going to have to leave again with their main caller dead. And it's looking like they're probably going to be losing second here. And Jesus, it's going pretty well for Swift, isn't it?
I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for you. This is almost heartbreaking. I know someone has to be the one not getting into to playoffs, but you know we've got 3 minutes left. Let's hope that maybe Feint can call something out of this, and if they win the golden cap, there's still a chance for you.
Indeed.
So right now they're pushing through choke. Ali dealing a lot of damage. The Ubers have been exchanged. It's only Alba and Konu with their medics in these Ubers. A bit of flash coming out of Umbrak means he ends out a little later. Ali going in a bit too deep, may die due to the fact that he jumped, but Korvac and Polygon, both soldiers going down. This is a good opportunity for either team to capitalize on. Chris going for a nice jump over the top, manages to clean up Sorex. Oh, you know, player for player for player.
Yep.
Amarok going down. Now we just need another Swift player to keep the trend going.
No, but it looks like Feint had probably lost this with that nice play from Chris, trading for the scout and taking so much attention away that when Ali traded for Chris, Smear could trade for someone for free. And now Swift are actually going to come in here, but this could be a mistake by Swift because although, never mind, Ali's going to go down in sewers. Why? I don't understand why he's there. And what could have been a pretty poor situation for Swift is actually going to be a pretty decent push in for them if Smear can just do anything here. Korvac's going to go very weak. They're going to try and they're used. Ombrak doesn't actually have Uber yet. He's 98 to Gusto Gals. Huge play from Korvac. Oh my god, he's 98 there. Oh my god.
That's insane. Smear and Chris, the only ones left.
He's onto Seeds. He misses the air shot. Oh my god, he was against the wall as well. I don't know how Seeds lives there. This is insane.
Oh my god, this is getting so close.
Seeds is spamming binds, and this is exactly what Feint needed. They just need to take second here and, you know, make the plays. Just play clinically. They have everything they need if they want to do this.
I can hear the desperation in your voice. Come on, Feint. Come on, Feint. Make this a close game. It's already close, but you know you've got this opportunity. You've got a nice Uber ad. This is all down for Swift and how they're going to hold this. So, Feint, if you can put on a show, nice last push, we can bring this to a golden cap, and or Electra will have a chance to get into playoffs. But right now, the sentry gun is going to get picked up. Swift in a good position. The Uber is out. The sentry, the moving sentry gun, the heavy.
Lots of cap time on point. Ombrak will go down. They're going to have a chance for one more push even if they fail this, but they're going to play heals with Seeds in the corner. They're just spamming them out right now. It's pretty decent, but they're going to take a lot of damage because there's more players up on Swift, and they're going to have to leave. Swift hasn't, Seeds has lived here, so they will be able to try this again, and they have 40% advantage. They're going to literally have one more push. None of them can feed here, and they can try the same thing again. They just need to essentially play point a little bit earlier. This is all or nothing. This is or Electro makes playoffs or not. I can't, honestly, Grumpy, I cannot watch.
That's perfectly understandable as they're looking, like Korvac's looking to go in on one. I don't know how they're going to set this up, so Korvac's making the distraction play, and Feint got their Uber. They're going to come in on 3. They start off with Ali on the Uber. They've dealt so much damage to all the people in secret. The sentry gun hasn't been cleaned up though. It's finally gone down. Alba going down. That's
Ombrek is dead as well. That's huge from Ali. There's lots of frags in the corner.
Boys.
They can play pointer. They can get the
Oh
cap.
my god! This is gonna go to golden cap if they keep this going. All the players. Oh my god! The denial from Chris. One player left. Oh my god! It's gonna go to a golden cap.
Jesus.
We've got a game, boys.
We have got a game on our hands. Both. Yeah. This is crazy stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So Swift have made 4 points. They need 5 out of this official. They need to win the golden cap if they want to make playoffs. And I can't remember how it works. I think if
if Feint win, Aura win. If Swift win, Aura lose effectively.
Yeah. But I can't remember if I can't remember how it works. If they get 5, do they place above Feint? Let's see. Yes, they do. So Feint are playing for the 3rd spot in playoffs, and Swift are playing for the 4th spot. No. Well, yeah. They're both playing for the 3rd spot. Swift either get 3rd in playoffs or they get nothing.
I don't like the chat going on in game chat right now. I don't want any fixing of any scores. I want a really good golden cap. They're talking about that. That better be a meme.
They're going live. We saw Ali make a huge play on that last, so hopefully we don't have we do not have our production, so this is going to be.
Don't worry, chat. I've got this. It's a radio cast.
We're going to be screaming into the mic, but hopefully Ali's turned it around and he's trying as hard as he can. Corbett's going to go deep onto Smear, going for a huge play onto him, but he's not going to hit his rockets.
Caught out.
It's a perfect.
He's so low.
It's a perfect serve from Smear, though, and he will live, so it's Corbett going down. Chris going to go deep onto Seeds. He's going to get cleaned up, though, so nice position from Feint in their own choke. Polly's going to go in for a play. Ali will go down, so Seeds really needs to leave here. He's leaving from lower, and it's 2v.
Polygon on the chase, though.
Ombrek has died to Sorek. No, I don't know how that's happened.
Seeds
and Polly's chasing Seeds. Huge from Seeds, killing Polly in lobby. So, I wish you guys could see this. It was a good mid. We had.
Oh my god, that was a good mid. So, shall we quickly run through what happened? So first off, Korvac went on a big play, dealt a lot of damage to Smeare. Smeare had just got out at the nick of time. Right now, Smeare's overextended and it takes a huge amount of damage once again. And then we had a really nice return from
Chris is behind in lobby.
From Chris and Polygon to force Seeds out. But right now, Chris gonna get cleaned up. So he is down. Boys and Feint are just coming through their choke, trying to get into mid, which is currently held by Swift.
So 50% advantage from Feint. They're going to be walking in here. There's 65. It's going to be a pretty easy take from Smear. Might get caught in choke, but he won't. And they're all going to live from Feint. Although there's a nice sticky trap. Somehow Koff dies to the most obvious sticky trap in the game. The one on point that Kalis does every time. But it's probably looking like Ombrek's about to get the Zuber on second. Seeds has a Zuber on mid. And Koff will be spawning fairly soon. So it's a stalemate on mid while we wait for our producer to come back. Hopefully. He's back.
We're back. Okay, we're no longer radio casting. All good, but Polygon goes in for a play, gets cleaned up very quickly. Now, maybe Feint kind of turned themselves on a little bit and they may be thinking about, if their brains are switched on right now, they should be pressing to create an advantage. And that's what they've done. Koff getting Ixie. That's 2 down. They may be able to push just based off that. Chris is in IT, so Ali knows that. He's trapped up that area. The Uber's gone on. Uber exchange. Uber's a little bit better for Feint as they try and catch.
They can chase Ombrek here into one. Sorek doesn't chase. He could have got Ombrek there. But that's they will be taking second here. So that's a nice pick from Ixie. Smear's going to try and get it back in from one, but if he picks the door, Ombrek could actually die. So Chris is actually behind, and Koff is on sniper, so he could actually make some plays here if they're not careful. He's going to go onto Seeds. He's going to shoot actually Koff instead, so he won't get any damage onto the medic, and Chris will be doing nothing there. So Feint actually could start making the play into lobby.
Yeah, I think they're going to be looking for some sort of play creation from Koff right now. Sorry, Konu. I'll call him Koff when he's playing sniper because I think that's fair. But Koff is going to be looking for an angle, a little bit of rotation. The sentry gun is up as well, so it's all about getting a play off him. I feel like that's going to be Feint's main sort of thought process. Body shot onto Polygon gets him low. But Umbrak holding them in that very far forward place. It's all down to like a hero shot to get him. So
and you just mentioned, I mean, Feint are trying to get a play off Koff, and Aura Electro and Swift are trying to get playoffs off this game. So there's everything is on the line here. If you're just tuning in, it's very intense. And if Feint can cap this last, then they will be doing me proud.
Cleaned up. Polygon trades though. It's going to be yes, Feint thinking smart. They're backing out. Swift need to either try and now create this into an advantage, but because of the positioning of Feint right now, they're not going to give it to them. They can back out or do a really nasty push into the team if they overextend at all.
Yeah. Feint need to be... I mean, they've had... Throughout this map, I think I've said this, probably the same thing before, they've had things when they take lobby and it's gone all wrong. Like, Seeds dropped coming into the lobby, they had plays in Badlands, but they lost lots of players. They just need to play this very clinically, only ever lose 1 or 2 players at a time, and not ever give up second. And particularly, you know, if they do a double stack, for example, if Ali dies, then they'll be losing second. But Ali just needs to play clinically and live, and they'll probably be fine holding onto this second.
Yeah, this is so intense because of the current scores on the league table. This golden cap means everything for about 3 teams. Like, a good placement in your playoffs is always really important. You know, going against the second seed is always going to be better than going against the first seed during your playoff. Definitely. And Korbak goes in, tries to make that play, gets cleaned up very quickly by the sentry gun. But now they know where it is.
Chris is in. He's going to get a headshot, I think. That's a pretty nice shot from Koff. A little bit of overkill, but Siege was very safe in top IT. But yeah, both teams just digging in for the long haul.
We got a spy. Polygon on the spy as well. Oh, he's trying to make the transaction now. Transition? I guess it could be a transaction. But right now...
for positioning with this cloak.
Yeah, paying for positioning with... Yeah.
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 Perfect wording, Grumpy. Well done.
Thank you.
He's going to go for the play now. We'll only get the poke onto Seed, so that's unfortunate for him. Does give Feint a little opportunity here. They're going to try and make something happen. Ombrex not sitting safe in his dispenser. The sentry is still up, so we'll see what they try to do. Korbak's going to try and pressure one. He might be able to pick Chris here if Chris is... Okay, never mind. He's going to get picked by Chris, so that's nicely played from him. Be very aware of that.
Yeah, and yeah, it's still Koff on Sniper. I think they were just looking to, again, get him into a decent position because kind of this is all what's happening right now is... Yeah, it's just Swift are currently sadly stuck on their last... They don't want to push out because it's so easy to get punished on that push out, especially with equal Ubers. So they're just hoping that they may entice a little bit of an Uber push coming out of Feint and then punish them for it and push out their last. But with the dispenser spot and everything, they could protect it. Korbak trying to create some space for Koff. Chris trying to deny it as well. But Koff looking maybe to see if he can get something. Just a constant spam, and it's all about getting that positioning. I'm surprised we haven't seen another rotated 10 through 2 from Koff right now. And he takes a lot of spam. He's just going to get cleaned up by a roller or Smeare. So he's no longer a threat for them. And they're looking to actually create some pressure in too from this.
Yeah, Chris is going to try and go for them. Korbak has gone down. So there's 2 players down. At least just needs to take the trade here, not die. But Chris is going in on Amarok behind. So that's 3 players dead. And it's looking pretty bad. Feint here. They're going to get forced and actually have almost no way to force. Ombrak, he's going to milk it. So it's just some kind of chaos plays into lobby, and they're going to get forced, and they're going to have to leave second, going all the way back.
This is an absolutely
Korbak,
terrifying.
He's on Sniper.
Oh, is he? Is he in the forward spawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will get pressured out though.
Yeah. This is such a terrifying position for Feint right now, though, because they've got such an Uber disad. They're not going to be able to deny that well on mid, so they're going to have to try and get that Uber force on second. Otherwise, they're going to be at quite a sizable disad if we get some pace from Swift. But they're building it up. As I say that, I'll eat my words. 30%.
They've gone very aggressive into lobby here though, and Korbak will go down on the flank, but Alba's going to go so deep into last. They're trying to get stuff. Polygon's going to go deep, but they are in spawn. Polygon will get Sorex, and they're so far into last. Seed's going to get the Uber, but it's 6v3 right now. They just need to trade and try and buy time, but they're going to get forced really early. Ombrex popped his Uber off, and this could be curtains for Feint if they don't
5 seconds on respawners as well.
But none of the spawners are in from Swift right now, but they're going to be playing point. This could be all over, and Swift have almost done it, and they've done it!
Oh! Swift get it. Oh no. So Swift get their God, that was so intense. So Swift managed to get into playoffs. Commiserations, Eames. Unless one of these teams drop out, you're not getting into playoff, buddy. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Such a shame. I can feel. Are you okay, man?
Honestly, let me play in that game. I've played 2 officials this week, and they're both pretty intense. But I would sooner play in any of those games than cast them. Oh my god. Like, just watching the other people having to do it for you and not being able to do anything about it. Oh, that was more traumatizing than 100 really close officials. I don't know why I signed up for this, Grumpy.
Yeah, you signed up for one of the most stressful casts I could possibly imagine, because everything is out of your control. It's totally down to 2 teams that you don't play for, and commiserations. They managed to get the 5 points lead. Like, well done to Swift. We both counted them out at the start of this. I didn't expect them to get the 5 points. I thought it'd be a nice, easy stroll for you guys into playoffs. And Swift picked up their game, especially on the first map, and did pretty well on the second, with only just losing like 2 seconds. Well, it's like 20 seconds, actually, before the end of the game. Shall we look at some logs, or shall we just... I don't mind not looking at logs. I know people in chat love it. So do you want to look at some numbers? Or do you need a second? Do you want me to do it and I'll just give you a second, my friend?
You can do it. I don't mind. Do whatever.
Oh, you sound so disheartened, man.
I'm dead inside. It's over.
Oh, bless you. It's not over. There's always next season. Come on. You are one of the most enjoyable. I am not the only one. There's many people in chat will agree with me. Loads of people have been rooting for you, and just because you don't make it this season, there's always another season. And you've got Copenhagen games as well to play and enjoy, and that's going to be great for you guys. So I'm just going to have a look, and on this is not for the golden cap. This is for the full game. Looking at that, Konu doing really well with 21-9. Good work from him. Nice cleanup in general. Let's see how he did on the sniper stats. Only 1 kill, 1 headshot. So hopefully that's consistent. Chris getting 1 kill, 1 headshot. That was the drop onto Seeds. You know, some big plays from players. Let's have a look at the damage. Korvac putting in a lot of work. He was always trying to create something. Not always successful, but we mentioned, Eames mentioned it before, all of the soldiers during this, probably bar sort of Polygon was the only one who seemed to be sort of, it was a bit more pushy this game, but Polygon being the only one who's kind of keeping himself a bit collected. Otherwise, Chris and Korvac were just going in left, right, and center. Amarok was trying to get some decent angles. And apart from that, stats very close. Smeary with 9 for 9, not dying much. And yeah, so apart from that, just going on to the med logs, because we've just been joined, we're going to be joined for some gentlemen, and I think you probably want to hear what they have to say. I don't know if we're getting any faint boys, but I do see 3 boys from Swift. Sorry?
I doubt we're getting faint somehow.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. 1 drop on Seeds and no drops on Ombrak. Yeah, that's the logs. You can look them up. I don't want to harp on that too much. Let's introduce our gentlemen. So, starting alphabetically, we have got Alba joining us. How you doing, Alba?
I'm doing pretty good. I just heard from Menti that they're gonna do the tiebreaker calculations now between us and Nora. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, wait. So there's still an opportunity.
We're on the same point. No.
I'm pretty sure you wanna.
Because we got the golden cap win and you don't have one. Same
I
way,
like to wait
but
for
we have
math.
one more golden cap
I'm
win.
ready to be disappointed.
Yeah. Wait.
But we went 3-3.
Okay. Well, from there we have Ombrak, who's joined us. You just heard him talk about maths. And finally Smeary. So coming out of that, 5 points, what you needed to stay in playoffs, and we're going to be doing the calculations. Well, you still got a chance.
We don't know yet.
Well, you still got a chance.
Don't jinx it.
I don't mean to jinx it, all right? That was so intense. But how you feeling coming out of that game, boys?
Oof.
my mouth is dry.
That was
Feels really nice.
yeah, I'm very proud, honestly. Like, we've been struggling very hard. I haven't played very much. Coming in with the Merc as well. And boys stepping up. Very proud.
Anyone else want to jump in on that? That question? No? Okay. All right, we'll move on swiftly.
Haha.
Sorry, guys. Oh, God. So from there, so coming into the first match, my Feint looked pretty strong coming into it. You guys kind of started locking things down. How was your sort of mood midway through the first map? Like, were you guys like 100% focused? We're gonna win this. Was there a bit of shaky knees, so to speak, or was it just plain sailing for you guys?
Well, our mid, we like warmed up against 7, and we got absolutely smashed. So we were a bit anxious going into it, but we like, let's play slow, try not to lose our medic instantly mid, and it kind of worked out in the end.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At some point, I was a bit upset, like 5 minutes into the game, because we did a really silly mistake. But apart from that, I think we handled ourselves pretty well. I've not been playing with Swift for a long time, but when I arrived, it felt like it was really messy in the calls and stuff like that. And I feel like we managed on this official to sort things out. To realize what needed to be said and what should be like, a bit more quiet, and I think that worked out pretty well on that end.
Yeah,
we managed to unravel lots of messes going around. It's like we lost a bunch of players, but we managed to reset on a different point or whatever and hold our ground.
Yeah, it was very interesting. You could clearly see as a spectator that there was a lot of hesitations and nerves, which is totally understandable from both teams, just trying to deal with the situation. There was some times where we've seen you, especially going back to the Or Electra game, where you guys would have gone in a bit more aggressive. Did you find you guys kind of slowing yourselves down a bit more this game?
Yeah, but like we kind of talked through it, and I don't know, we went aggressive, but it was not coordinated at all. Like, people just went in and died pretty much. So we just try to coordinate stuff up more, and yeah, seems to work.
Okay, and obviously I don't want to jinx it, but you guys are in the runnings to make it to playoffs, or maybe not. How are you feeling about that?
Confirmed. We are in it.
So how do you guys feel about getting into the playoffs then? I can ask the question now.
It's good.
PogChamp.
From my perspective, it's a bit unexpected, because before joining, I saw that they lost against the Germans, and I thought, okay, what am I getting myself into? And I was pretty sure it would be over even after the Aura game, but somehow we're still alive, and then we pulled it off really well tonight. So it's more than happy. I think for me at least, it's a pretty good surprise that we managed to pull it off. And I don't know, there was a bit of it's funny because India is not my team at all, and when on the second map before starting process, I could feel a bit of anxiety. That was nice.
Shaking, man.
Yeah, a bit. I was a bit as well, so it was nice to have that feeling back again, I guess.
Yeah, and it genuinely feels like this is probably one of the closest playoffs we've had in a while, I'd say.
It must be
because it's felt like one of those where it's always been sort of the speech, like whenever I've been talking about it or looking at it, it's like these playoff matches have been so crucial. Like, I don't think it could have got any closer, and the fact that the final spot had to go down to, as Ombrek put it, maths is quite nuts.
Yeah, I'm just so happy. I've been playing this game for so long. I played 3 seasons of Prem. This is my 4th, and my first 2 seasons were like 1 point in Prem or something. Now, last season came 6th, I think, with Boss Crew, and now reaching playoffs. I'm very, very proud.
Alba winning Prem season 45.
It's coming. It's coming, boys. Yep. When Daniel makes a comeback, that's the time.
I kind of want to talk to Eemes, but Are you okay, buddy?
I'm here.
Oh.
I'm soldering on.
Oh, bless you. So, first off, just so we get it out of the way, commiserations, Eames. I know you had to cast that as well, so you obviously know the result. But just want to kind of say you've played great this season. Don't feel like this is a bad season for you at all. It was so close. You've given us one of the most intense seasons we've had. I can't remember a season like this in recent memory. Like it's been one of those seasons where we said at the start it's going to be a pretty fat season, and I feel like it has gone that way. So don't feel bad about yourself, buddy.
Thank you.
I just don't like the fact you're kind of just suffering through this.
You were so close. Like you won the games you needed.
Indeed.
But in the end, we managed to do it.
Well, to be fair, the fact that 2 teams dropped maybe rigged the tables in the end. But like you can tell that season is really close because Aura took points out of 7, Swift took points out of Ascent, which is like results that people may not have expected, and at the same time Swift lost to the Germans and stuff like that. So I think pretty much every week they were kind of surprising results. So it's good for the scene, like to see that there's a lot of players around the same level, and maybe that will motivate people to actually stack together. But I think 2 teams dropping and not really pushing in that direction, I guess. Well, I killed it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading something because Albert actually sent me a message from Menti, so I'm just reading that. Anyway, so you guys have got 4th place in playoffs?
Yes,
Is that correct? So does that mean you'll be going against 7 for the first part of the playoffs? Round. So the first round.
No big deal.
But that seed doesn't really matter. You play all teams either way.
Yeah.
Not if you win everything, Smear.
Yeah.
No. But how are you feeling about going into these? So let's kind of move past this. I don't want to make. I'm just trying to. I feel pretty bad. Yeah, Eames has actually decided to leave. That's fair. I that's totally understandable. So moving on to the next part, to your playoffs. How are you guys feeling about kind of going into this? Do you feel like you've got a chance?
Confident.
Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, like, seems like we stepped up big time today, and now we have some time to fix more of our issues. So I'm feeling confident.
Yeah. This will surely bring back some team spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, when you look at the results, I feel like Swift is a kind of team that can underperform against lower teams on paper, like maybe the Germans. No disrespect, but I feel like people expected maybe Swift to win this game.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, you can see we beat Feint. They tied with Ascent on the first week of the season, so maybe it's one of these teams that actually can step up against bigger opponents, like the kind of underdogs. And so I think people are expecting us to be. I don't think many people expected us to make it even into the playoffs. So when you have that mindset, you know that it's all like from now on. It's only going to be positive no matter what happens.
Yeah, it will be. So, I don't really have any more questions there. It's kind of one of those things where I feel like I need to let you guys go rest, go speak, catch up, and just get ready for the playoffs.
How am I going to sleep tonight?
Bless you. So it's confirmed now. So it's going to be 7 Ascent, Feint, and Swift in the playoffs. So I think I'll leave it there. Don't want to harp on this too much. So we'll just go straight on to shout-outs if that's okay with you guys.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so let's go with you, Albert. Any shout-outs?
Big shout to my team, as well as Feint and Aura, for playing well the 2 past games. Big shout out to Kaiser, aka ARPG God. And shoutouts to the Saints boys and Smira.
I got shouted like 3 times because I'm in Saints, congrats. Swift, and myself.
Alright, and then Umbrak, any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Chris for stepping up for Rising and getting the sweet shots that he needed to hit. It was nice to get that old Ascent reminiscence with him. Shout out to Swift and Shout out to Korvac. I scared him a bit. I think for a second he thought he wouldn't make it to playoffs, but I was merciful and gave him a point.
Okay, and Smire?
Yeah, shout out to Chris for marking. Very nice of you. Shout out to Kaiser and my team. And Snitchelman.
Okay, and I'll just run through a few shout outs. I do want to shout out Or Electra for putting on a damn good show this season, and I hope they do stay together in some form or another and move on from there, because I just felt like, you know, they're a great team. You can't knock them for how far they've come, and I can't wait to see them at Copenhagen game if they're still going forwards. Shout outs to Eames for casting along. It's a tough match to cast when there's so much riding on it. I understand why you left, bud, but we all love you. So can we get some love hearts for Or Electra and Eames for getting so close to making it into playoffs? And yeah, shout out to all of you for watching, and both teams that played, Feint and Swift. And yeah, I think that'll do. So I've been Jake, formerly known as GrumpyKoi, and this has been ETF2L Season 31, Week 7. And we will catch you on the playoffs. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.